How did week 7 go? Did we accomplish much? Have we recovered from the week 5 vacation? Did we continue our success that we were achieving in week 6? Hi, welcome back to my channel, Beck's Quest, and we are doing the week 7 wrap-up. As you can see, my setup has changed as I have just moved to a different part of the room, and yeah, I'm just relaxing at my table where I normally do a lot of my work and eat and relax. So we're going to be a bit more relaxed today in this area. How did week 7 go? Did we accomplish much? Have we recovered from the week 5 vacation? Did we continue our success that we were achieving in week 6? The answer is yes, I think so. Why the hesitation? Why the question? Week 7 has been the week where my work is on break. So it was my last day of work this week. So there were some celebrations. For the last day of work this week, we had a big barbecue. And so eating wise, the choices were grilled meats and salads. So those were some good choices. A few gluten-free desserts, which I did partake in. But there was also alcohol. I definitely had a few glasses of sparkling wine. And then I met my boyfriend afterwards and we went for really lovely cocktails. Our friend Lena gave us these beautiful vouchers for one of our favorite bars in Vienna called Dino's Apothecary. And the vouchers actually look like a prescription pad, so it was really cute. It was a very thoughtful gift. Also this week was my anniversary with my boyfriend, so we also went out for dinner and drinks, which was lovely. We went to one of our favorite places in Vienna that's on the Danube, overlooking the water, and the place is called Chalk. They do this cool fusion Mexican taco food. It's really interesting where they mix so many different international flavors to make their dishes. And I have their XO beef taco and their big chick energy chicken taco. He had their onechichi, it's like shabab but in a taco with like kraut and ivar. It's a really cool fusion. Everything there is just delicious. And then we shared a plate of smashed potatoes, where they boil the potatoes and then of course they smash them and they put them on the grill and to get them cooked and toasty. And they put this umami vegan mayo and red cabbage. I know it sounds weird. Don't judge until you try it. It's fantastic, delicious food, and not terrible in calories. My calories were found in the very delicious miso margaritas that they make there. My goodness. So I had 2 margaritas. They're on the rocks, so it's not so high in sugar, but it's still alcohol and sugar. So I've had 2 days of drinking this week, which I think I'm done for a while. I'm trying not to drink a lot of alcohol while on this journey. I'm trying to get off of it because it's just not good for me in general. But I do have a couple of weddings I'm going to this summer, so I probably will have some champagne here and there. But otherwise, I'm not really feel like I'm missing out on anything. And there are so many other things that I can enjoy food and drink wise, so I'm not too too worried about it, I guess. Training wise, let's see. So the rest of the training and nutrition for the week, my training, I got 3 days of training this week. It started with actually HIIT cardio. So I started with my HIIT cardio training this week on Monday because it's just how the week worked out for me. So I had HIIT training on Monday, and then I did a pull day for my second day of training this week. And I was okay, but this left shoulder is still feeling a bit of a twinge every now and then. I still get a weird muscle weakness. I really feel like I'm fighting frozen shoulder syndrome. It's like my shoulder wants to seize up, but I keep doing things and like moving it and stretching it and just like trying to make sure that they keep moving and everything to keep it from freezing up. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do. I probably should see somebody about that. But overall, I mean, I think the shoulder has survived, and if I don't sleep on it weird or look at it weird or whatever it is that causes weird shoulder issues or body issues, if I keep using it and keep training it and I'm careful while I'm training, I think I'll be okay. The pull day went really well. It's just the next couple of days after it was starting to give me trouble. So I didn't do a push day this week, and instead for my day 3, I did a leg day. I went back to the gym and met my friend Rebecca again, and we hit legs. So we did hit legs and butt basically. So in our leg day, we did deadlifts. We started with deadlifts because that's what was available for first off. So we did our warm up like good people. And then we did our deadlifts, and then sumo deadlifts, and then we did sumo squats. So with our sumo squats, we did 5 sets of 5 in the sumo squats. And I did, on both deadlift and squats, I was doing about 30 kilograms plus also the bar. So the bar is something like 22 kilograms from what I was told. So yeah, so around like 52 kilograms. And then I did my RDLs again. Man, those kick my butt. And my balance, you're going to see in the video, my balance on the RDLs are just, I don't know, questionable. It's something I really have to keep working at. And that's exciting. I actually like the fact that when I'm training, that I'm pushing myself to challenge my body in order to get better at something. And I really do like the challenge of a new exercise or a new type of training. So this is a good thing, quite frankly. If I was good at everything when I first did it, I probably would be bored with it. So it's nice to have the challenge of the RDL, the single leg hinge thing. I don't even know if I'm doing it right. I'm just doing my best and I feel it. So something's happening. We did hip thrusts. We just put on like a 20 kilogram plate because the machine itself, it's a weird machine. The machine itself, just lifting the machine, is really heavy. I'm very surprised at how incredibly heavy this machine is just on its own. So when you add the 20 kilo plate, it feels really heavy. So I did 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps on that one. So leg day was deadlifts, 5 sets, 5 reps of sumo deadlifts. There was some filming. Thank you, Rebecca, for filming this. And I'm not talking to myself in a third person. We had the squats, the sumo squats again, 5 sets, 5 reps of 30 kilograms, followed by the other 2 that I just really explained in detail. To talk more in depth about my pull day, in my pull day, I started with lat pull downs. I made sure to get my lat pull downs in. Then I went over, because no machines were ready, so I walked over and did my bench work. So in my bench work, I do my shoulder gauntlet, which is the shoulder press, followed by front lat raises and side lat raises. And of course, before the shoulder press begins, I warm up and look kind of like a weirdo doing these windmills with super lightweight. So I pick up like the 1 kilogram weights and swing my arms into 25 windmills. Then my shoulder press is 4 sets of anywhere between 7 or 8 kilograms. It depends on how my shoulder is feeling. And so I do 4 sets of 12 to 15 in the shoulder press. Give myself at least a minute pause between, and then I do a front lat raise, and I make sure that my hands are turned where they're kind of like the weight, if you were to put the flat part of the weight against your thigh. I'm not turning it out, I'm turning it in, because that was recommended to keep from getting a weird shoulder impingement. And we know I don't need a shoulder impingement. So the front lat raises, I generally do about, if I can, 2 to 3 kilograms based on, again, how my shoulder's feeling or what's available at the time. Then a break. So again, that's 4 sets of 15. Then the side lat raises, I do at 2 to 3 kilograms, and again, 4 sets of 15. So that's the shoulder gauntlet, because you alternate all of these different exercises one after the other in order to keep the shoulders working and burn calories at the same time with this short pause in between. And it really works the shoulders, and you get quite the pump. I always think my shoulders look really good from that. Then I went ahead and, as I was waiting for the cable machines I needed, I walked over and I did my barbell bicep curls. My bicep curls with 10 kilograms, the bar. And I do about 3 sets of 15 with that. But what changes between each set is my hand grip. So I'll start wide, and then I'll move into a middle range, and then a close grip. And that changes about how the difference of what part of the muscle it's hitting. And so I do the 3 sets of 15 for that with 10 kilograms, followed by hammer curls. And I'll do either a 4 kilogram or a 5 kilogram weight. Again, based on how my muscles feel and what's available. I usually do 4 kilograms because that's the one I can really get through 3 sets of 15 of. 5 is really pushing it, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I'm really struggling to get those sets happening. The 5 kilograms is almost too much, because by then my biceps are really exhausted after the barbell curls, and I was really feeling it. And I felt that for days and days and days and days after. I do the hammer curls with dumbbells, 3 sets of 15, 4 to 5 kilograms. Once the cable machine was available, I was able to go over into cable rows, where I'm working like the middle part of my back. And so I'll pull the weight towards me, and I can go pretty heavy on this because I just get my legs in kind of like a squat position, and I'm trying to make sure I'm allowing my spine to go forward. So when I really keep my elbows in towards my sides, I'm really pulling and using that middle back. And I'm trying to use my back more than my, say, arms and biceps. But it's hard not to use that part of your arm, of course, during the training. And so with that, I'll do like a warm up, and I do like 20 reps and anywhere from 35 to 45 kilograms. And I went to 45 because it felt pretty easy. Again, every machine is calibrated differently. So you just have to see on that machine and on that day what you need. Then I did 4 sets of 12 at 50 to 55 kilograms. And then I finally did a drop set after that, again, of anywhere between 35 and 45 kilograms for me. And I do 20 reps, or at least to exhaustion. You're really just kind of seeing what your body needs. I know it sounds weird, but that's how it works. From that point, then I do face pulls. Face pulls are incredibly important to keep us being that, because we're balancing when we're doing our face pulls, right? We're working these muscles in our upper back and neck area, and the trapezius and the delts, and of course it works the triceps a little bit, but it's not really about that. And with the face pulls, as you're pulling towards you, you're working that upper back, and the whole idea is to keep your posture really up, and you don't want to hunch forward. The whole idea is trying to fight the hunch in the end, where you don't want to be hunched over and you don't want to be unbalancing your body so much that have you ever seen those people who've overtrained their upper body and they've got this weird rounded hunched look, and it's like they can't pull their shoulders back, right? So we want face pulls to keep our everything open, like the scapula and the whole upper area of our chest and shoulders open, where we're not curling our bodies in, hunching in. We're trying to fight that. So face pulls are extremely important. And I always have it written in my notes, check form, because it's very easy to do these wrong. And so it's a constant, again, this is a constant challenge in order to really see how we progress in our training and in our bodies. And it's a nice challenge. So face pulls, 4 sets of 15 with this one. And you don't have to go stupid heavy on the weight. Right now I'm doing 20 kilograms because form is so much more important. Well, form is always the most important, but it's really important on these particular, and I would rather do a weight that is doable without risking the form, right? So I'm doing 20 kilograms of the face pulls. That was my training for week 7, guys. We're already in week 7. This has gone by so fast. I mean, at least to me, I don't know about you. Week 7, and I am for sure seeing the body change. The weight, I mean, again, weighing yourself is not as important when you're recomping the body, because again, my focus is eating a lot of protein, veg, try to keep the alcohol and sugar to a minimum, which has not been my greatest accomplishment in week 5 and week 7. But it really is about focusing on the protein and the nutrient-dense foods and the good supplements that our bodies need. I am taking creatine and EAA with my training. So we're recomping, and the scale does not matter as much. However, the scale did move a bit. It has gone down a little bit more. I think I've overall, in the past 7 weeks, I've basically lost 7 pounds. So it's like an average of 1 pound a week if you average it out, which is actually not terrible. Again, it could just be water. It could just be, who knows what it could be. Where I really see the difference is how my clothes are fitting, how my body is feeling, how it's looking. The changes for me that are really noteworthy are the physical, what I can see and feel in my body. So when I touch my arms, right, and I see, like, you know, even though I still have fat, which is going to be unless I do some ridiculous shred, I'm going to have fat. But, you know, I do see, like when I move my arm, I see the muscles coming in, right? I see my shoulders. I see my waist going in and getting more snatched. I see the roundness and the fullness of my glutes. I see the muscles in my legs coming in. All the different things that I see in my body, and again, in how my clothes fit, how I'm feeling in my clothes, how they don't feel as tight, how they hang on me. There's so many things about just how you feel and how you look in your clothes and out of your clothes. It really helps fuel the fire to keep going, right? To keep progressing. And also, just doing this series, this is one of the reasons I started doing this on YouTube, is for accountability, because I know, okay, I have to sit down and talk about this, and I have to talk about my progress, and thus I need to do something to have progress, right? To have something to talk about. It's like, I need to stick with it, and I need to be accountable to myself. But if I put this down on paper and digitally, I think that helps me stay pretty focused and accountable. And also, it's nice to see the progress in the videos and to see and revisit what I was thinking that week or how I was feeling. It's really important to me. Also, there was a sale this week on barbell bars. I know I said it wrong in, I think, my first or second video. I kept calling them bear bars or something like that. And they're barbell bars, right? And there was a sale, an action, if you will, at some of the stores in Vienna, and they were 25% off, which is sizable. So we bought a couple of basically cases of the barbell bars. So I am covered on my protein bars for a while, thank goodness. And my boyfriend was very like, you should just get them all, just get them. He doesn't sound like that. I just don't know how to do an impression of him. And he's right. A 25% reduction on something that you know that you use regularly is actually a smart buy. So if World War III or the apocalypse happens, I have some protein bars to sustain me for a bit. So this week I did, like I said, with the push day, I had to be careful with my shoulder. So I had to go down in weight. Instead of doing the 8 kilograms for the shoulder press, I did 7. So like I said, 7 to 8, it just depends on the shoulder. But other than that, that's the main change in my training this week. Pretty much everything stayed on track for what I was doing. HIIT cardio was really successful. I only did 1 day this week of HIIT cardio. I think the goal going forward is to get more than 1 day, but now that I'm off for the summer, yay, I think my plan will be to try to incorporate more training days since I've got the time and more HIIT cardio, especially since I'm not going to be walking at work or choreographing right now. I can make it up for in the gym since in my daily life, my steps and my choreography is not as much during the summer. So that's great. I get to do it at the gym. I like that. Coming up next week, I already have plans to meet some friends, go to some museums that I surprisingly have not been to yet in Vienna. There's so many beautiful museums and there's some I've missed. Not the big ones, I've gone to the big ones, but I've never gone to the Sisi Museum where the Empress was, all of her stuff, her dresses and accessories, I don't know, I've never been, apparently are there. I hope to go to the Crown Jewels Museum in Vienna as well. I don't know if that's on our list or not, but I'm meeting some friends and we're gonna do some museums and walk around and enjoy Vienna in the summer, which is actually really hot. So I'm extremely grateful we have an air conditioner this year. I've been suffering through the summers the past 10, 11 years that I've lived here with just a fan and a dream. And this year we have an air conditioner and we have used it at least I think 3 times now since it's gotten hotter in Vienna, and it has made a substantial difference in my sleep. I am sleeping so much better now that it's cooler with the air conditioner. So thank you, David, for finding and purchasing this amazing air conditioner. It has made my life supremely better, as you have. Happy anniversary. That's pretty much the week and what's happening and what's coming up. I hope that you too are having a fabulous week and that you've accomplished much on your own. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment section. And do not forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already to this channel. Everything that you comment and like really help the algorithm and help this video to get out to more people so that we can share this little community that we are creating. And I really appreciate you watching and supporting me. I know who you are. I see you. I really appreciate the comments in person as well when I do see friends that come by and watch my videos and take the time. That's really kind of you. Thank you for doing that. So that's it. That's week 7. We did a thing. We did the thing. I did a thing. I'm fancy. So talk to you soon. See you next week for week 8. Bye.